Welcome back to Wave Listens Live.
Hello, Kentuckiana.
We've got Lindsay from Elder Advisors.
That's Lindsay.
Hi.
I don't know. I'm confused because you called her a call earlier. I assume it's some kind of dig.
Right?
855-Larry55. Don't go broke in a nursing home because you do not have to. Right before the break, Larry, you had your hand up.
Yeah.
You were trying to stop on my feet to get me from talking before we went to break. I assume that means you have something to say.
For the first time ever, and this will also be something insightful. Here's what shouldn't have to happen, because we're all human. People are watching the show. It doesn't apply to me. It won't happen to me. Don't have to worry about it. Amy Wheatley, one of the attorneys that we refer clients to do the legal, because we don't, but Amy Wheatley at Stein Law is just a real crackerjack and does a great job. We should not have to be at my conference room with a daughter and a daughter-in-law, and these ladies are, I'm guessing, in their early 30s, because mom is 64 years old. And mom has declined to the point where she needs extra care. And the only reason we were able to affect the plan that the attorney did was because the daughter had power of attorney. And, this is not something we have to wait until our parent or ourselves are 85 years old. Sadly, it's happening to people in their early 60s.
Yeah, and
it's something. There's people out there that are stunned to hear that right now. I'm a little stunned to hear it. I'm 63.
No way.
Right? There's a lot of Botox and plastic surgery.
Okay.
It enhances me, but I get it free. So you get what you pay for. But anyway, back to the show. It's not just for the 85-year-old that we have to be concerned about. But to mother's credit, the family had the foresight to already have a power of attorney in place, because for us to do what we were doing, working with the attorney at Stein Law, Amy Wheatley, was that the daughter had a power of attorney. So you don't have to wait until the train wreck. And when you do, usually you have no options, because guess what? It's a train wreck.
And I think people just don't, we like to think it'll never happen to us, and we all hope that. But is hope your plan? Like, is that the plan? I hope this never happens to me, so is that your plan? Or do you want to put a plan into place that if it happens, it's okay? My husband lost an uncle unexpectedly out of state, and they had done nothing. I mean, they had done nothing. My own family members, my husband's family members. And it's been what is a really complicated situation and grief-stricken situation has been made worse because the planning just wasn't done. So then there's running around, and there's out-of-state family members trying to support, and it's just in 45 minutes. In 45 minutes, that family could have put a plan into place that just, if the small chance of this thing happens, I'm going to take 45 minutes to just kind of place a bet. It doesn't, but if it does, I'm going to be prepared. And that's really all we're talking about here. It's just being prepared.
When we talk about those situations, a lot of times people feel like they're prepared because, they've got close to retirement age maybe, so they finally put together a will, and they think, all right, I've talked to an attorney over here, they got me a will done, I'm good. But as we've talked about before, where there's a will in this particular case, there's not always a way out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just finishing up a probate, and Amy Wheatley was at my office yesterday, so we kind of had a checklist of things. And one was an estate that I was the executor of, because the son in this case just said, I can't do this. I cannot back and forth. He's got kids, he's working, everything like that. So I was appointed by the court. So I was acting as the executor, and Amy was the attorney for that, to help with that. But we're hoping to get it wrapped up in just under 2 years.
And how does that compare? Because we hear about probate horror stories all the time.
Here's the thing. There is a legal component. That was what Amy is doing. She's the attorney. But so much of it is the administrative stuff. I'm fighting with the utility companies to get the utilities changed because the person died. And that's like an act of Congress on the utilities and stuff. Just the mind-numbing minutia. I take the paperwork to the bank. Well, our legal department doesn't like that. So I have to go back to the attorney. They go back to court and get something else. That's just more time and effort and money.
How many times did you go to you went to the BMV or the DMV for like several?
That was my Kentucky probate I was helping with.
And here's the thing, guys. Everything we're talking about in 2 years and the running back and the forth and the paperwork, that's what you leave your children when you leave with a will.
Yeah.
So a will is a great start, but there's more that can be done, and it starts with a call to 855-LARRY-55. Not attorneys, usually always a legal component, which, you know, we work with a number of attorneys, but anybody who just has a will needs to call 855-LARRY-55 to sit down and see what else can be done.
Or along with the will that they want to keep.
Absolutely,
That's fine.
of course. But it's just, I think we have found people are surprised to learn that everything that a will means. It's not simply, well, this will just easy peasy go on down. It's not. There is a process. The process is called probate, and that can go on for years.
Yeah.
It's not a situation that you deal with often. A lot of times people don't deal with it at all.
Right.
And, you know, best case scenario, you're not dealing with it. But the most likely scenario is you're dealing with it once, maybe twice, with your parents
Or not
specifically.
at all.
We have 45 seconds left.
Okay, 45
I want to
seconds.
remind everybody, estate planning, very important. That's what we're all talking about here today. Tell everybody why they should call 855-LARRY-55.
It starts with a phone call. If you think you need help, you do, call us. These two estates that we were talking about, they both were small estates, $300,000 total, including the house.
That's it.
That was it. And it
They
still
were
took
not
nearly,
gajillionaires.
It still nearly took 2 years.
It's for you, Kentuckiana. It is for you.
Hey,
we want to help. Call
These
us
stories
today.
are like aging untold.
Yeah.
They just keep coming, right? That's a plug. Monday, Wave 3 at noon, Kentuckiana.
Leading
Aging
right
Untold.
into
Yes.
Listening
Right there.
Live.
Right
Yes.
there.
That is all
Aging
we've got
Untold.
with Larry and Lindsay. Call
Kentuckiana.
855-LARRY-55.
Look
Don't
forward
go
to seeing
broke in
you
a nursing
soon.
Don't
home
do it.
because you do not have to. Coming